Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a little video here, hopefully it'll be not too long, to show you my Erin Condren horizontal 2015-2016 life planner, which I have uncoiled and punched and put into a gold large Kikki binder. So this will be pretty similar for Filofax as well. I don't have a Filofax to show you how it fits in there, but I think the punches are pretty similar. So anyway, this is the uncoiled version inside my Kikki, and as you can see, I'm going the wrong way. The tabs do peek out a little bit in the binder. I kind of wish they didn't, but they do, and the way that I did it actually makes them a little bit smaller than some of the other ways that you can do it, so I'll explain that a little bit more once we get into it, but the gist of it is that they do stick out. However, the way I've done it, they don't bend. This strap here, depending on how you do your punches, some of them stick out further and therefore it'll actually bend the center tabs. The way that I did it doesn't do that. So it closes fine and it does not bend the tabs, which was kind of my main goal. So this is the cover that comes with the ready to ship version, which is the version that I ordered, obviously. Wanted to point out that this is actually a dark navy blue background. I thought it was black, honestly, in some of the pictures and stuff that I saw. It doesn't really matter. I actually like the navy better, but I just wanted to point that out in case you thought it was black. It's not. So in here I have my perpetual calendar. I actually have it in here upside down just so that you can see the rainbow chevron sticking out rather than the peachy pink background. I just thought it looked cute that way, but whatever floats your boat, not a big deal. So a couple quick things before I get into the planner itself. When you're uncoiling, I highly recommend that you use a wire cutter like this. This is actually a needle nose pliers, but it has that little circle there is for wire cutting. And the reason I suggest this is because then you can pop off your coil nice and easy rather than trying to like stretch it out and uncoil the whole thing. I've seen people do that, and you can cut yourself. It's a pain and hurts your fingers. All you need to do is take a wire cutter and get it right in there, and quick little snip. You'll pop off the bent part on the coil and then just spiral your coil right out of your holes, the hole punch holes. Much easier that way, so I just thought I'd share that little tip. For my cover and for the planner itself, I used a slide trimmer or a little paper trimmer to cut off the like fringe, so to speak, where the previous coil holes were. The other way to do it is to leave the fringe and cover it with washi tape or sticker tape and then make your hole punches in there. The benefit to that being that it doesn't cut into the page as much. The drawback to that is then your pages are actually a little bit wider here. And when you do it that way, sometimes the strap on the planner binder actually bends your tabs. So that's why I chose to do it this way instead. It does cut in a little bit to the boxes, which I'll show you in a second, but it doesn't bend my tabs. And I chose, for me, the lesser of two evils was to lose a little bit of space but keep my tabs intact, because I'm kind of picky about bent tabs. I don't like them. So anyway, this is the inside of the planner. I took out the vellum page that was in here. Just, I don't really like this pattern so much. I would have taken this page out too, but the back side of it has the year on 2 pages calendar, so I left that in there. But if you do like your vellum insert, I actually used, I had the gold edition last year, and I laminated the vellum insert to use as a dashboard. So just an idea for you if that's something you're interested in doing. So I'm not going to go into all these pages and stuff in here because there's tons of walkthroughs and unboxing videos that show what all the pages are, so I'm kind of just going to skip over that. What I want to get to is to show you where the holes land, which was the concern of a number of people. So this is the first month of the planner. It starts in July, obviously, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see here. So as you can see, it does cut in a little bit to the boxes for the month, which, you know, is expected. Like I said, if you don't cut off the fringe where the hole punches were, this will be over a little bit, so you'll actually have a little bit more space in your monthly boxes, but again, you run the risk of bending your tabs, so it's just a matter of preference as to what is more important to you. You do, in some of the spots, kind of cut into the date. For me, not a huge deal because I don't typically use the monthly layout as much as I do the weekly layout, so for me that didn't really matter. If you use these more often, maybe that'll be something important for you to consider, but I just wanted to point it out because, you know, it's something you'll have to think about either way. So, and then the weekly layout, I'm going to zoom in here again so you can kind of see what is going on with that. It does cut into the boxes a little bit. It's kind of blurry. I'm not sure why my camera's not really focusing the way it should. Let's see if I can. Well, anyway, it's not really focusing, but it does cut in a little bit to the boxes. I don't know if you can see it, but the line is right there for the edge of the box. So it does cut into your boxes a little bit. However, it's not a lot, I don't think, and it doesn't seem to cut into any of the dates at all. And to be honest with you, I think this horizontal layout is actually better suited to be punched into a Filofax or a Kikki binder than the vertical version. So I think if you're going to punch it and put it into a 3-ring binder of any kind, I really think that the horizontal version is going to be your best bet because the vertical boxes are much smaller, so you're losing a larger percentage of your writing space when you have the vertical version as opposed to the horizontal. So that's my opinion. Regardless of which you use, horizontal or vertical, you are going to lose some space, but I think in the grand scheme of things, losing, you know, a fraction of an inch of a much larger box just makes a little more sense to me. So that's how that works out. I kind of started decorating because, you know, I was a little excited, but you know, going forward it looks about the same. For me, when I write, whether I use the Erin Condren planner or other inserts, when I'm writing, I usually take the pages out so that I'm not hitting the rings. That was one of the things I didn't like about the coil, is that obviously you can't take the pages out or put them back in again. So for me, you know, this being here, it's not going to get in the way when I write because most likely I'm going to take the page out to write on it anyway. So that's what they look like. And again, you can see it kind of cuts into some of the space a little bit, but not the end of the world for me. Some people might have a bigger issue with it, and that's kind of why I wanted to show you so you can make that decision before you order or after you order. And if you already ordered and you decided this isn't going to work for you, there's plenty of groups and stuff on Facebook where you can, you know, sell your planner and stuff and buy a different one. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you real quick too is that I felt like this was the 18-month life planner, and I felt like it was too bulky to put the whole 18-month into the Kikki. I'm not sure if the rings on the Filofax, I think the rings on the Filofax are actually a little bit smaller. I'm not positive on that, but I felt like it was a little bit too bulky to put the whole 18-month planner in here. And I felt the same way last year when I had my Erin Condren still coiled. I felt like the 18-month was too bulky. So what I do for that is, going forward in the planner, this is June of 2016, so this is next June. Now, I know, as well as you do, that June is when Erin Condren launches their new year of planners. So sometime in the first week or two of June of 2016 will be the launch of the 2016-2017 planners. So knowing that, I know myself, I know I'm going to want to buy a new planner at that time. And chances are, if you're someone who's watching Erin Condren YouTube videos, you're probably in that same boat. So let's just be honest and say that we're probably going to buy a new planner in June, even though this planner goes through December of next year. So to kind of make up for that a little bit and to help save on some of the bulk, what I do is, and I did this, like I said, before last year before I uncoiled, I also did this too. But so we have June 2016, the weekly pages for that going forward. Okay, so then we have the next tab here is for the month of July, which would be July 2016, which is after the newest planner would already be starting. So what I did was I took out the weekly pages from July through December, and then I used a adhesive runner. You can also use glue, but I feel like that gets too cloppy. These are really good because there's no thickness really added to it. There's no like wrinkliness or anything. So I glued together the last half of the month with the front half of the month after it, if that makes sense. So I'll show you here in a second. So normally you'd have the month layout for July, and then you'd have all the weekly pages for July, and then the monthly pages for August. So what I did was I took out those weekly pages for July, and then you flip right to the monthly page for August. So this eliminates a lot of the bulk in the last half of the planner. Those are weeks I know I'm not going to use because I'll already have my new planner, because I have a problem. I have a bit of a planner addiction. So I took out those pages that I know I'm not going to use, but I left myself with the monthly pages in case I want to plan out vacations, or if there's a wedding coming up, or anything that you want to plan way in advance. You have the option to kind of sketch it out in here, and then add your details when you get your new planner for 2016-2017. Can you believe we're already planning? The new planner just came out 3 days ago, and I'm already planning next year. But I mean, if I'm being real, I know that I'm gonna, we know I'm gonna buy a new planner in June. So anyway, it kind of eliminates some of the waste. I'm still kind of, you're wasting the weekly pages for those months, but it is what it is. I know myself. I know that if I try to go through December of 2016, I'm just going to give up. Plus, like I said, it eliminates a lot of the bulk, and I don't honestly know if the whole 18-month planner with all of the weekly pages would actually even fit in here. So I didn't try. But anyway, so I have, as you can see, the back side of the preceding month, and then the front side of the following month adhered together so that it just flips as one when you flip the tab. So and I did that going through December, and then I removed the December weekly pages and attached it to the front, the first note page. So then when you get to the note tab, it flips right to the note pages. So then there's obviously the lined pages, the blank pages, and then the new graph pages. I think I actually have my pages out of order here from when I punched them. Anyway, not the end of the world. So yeah, obviously, again, trimmed the fringe off and punched into the page. That process to do the whole planner took me exactly 1 hour. And that was using a little cheapy rinky-dink slide trimmer. This is the one I used. It's Fisker's. I think you're only supposed to cut one page at a time. I think I did like 3 at a time. So obviously, if you have better equipment than I do, it'll go a little bit faster. I would not recommend trying to do this with a scissor. Your pages will not cut straight and you'll hate it. Just trust me on that. We're all usually somewhat perfectionists with our planner. Just do yourself a favor and either buy a slide trimmer, or you can take the whole shebang to FedEx office, or I think Office Max or Office Depot or Staples. I think they all do it, but they have like a guillotine cutter, and it literally just hacks off the part that you want to cut off. My only warning with that is that they're not very accurate, so you might wind up with some pages slightly larger than others. It kind of depends on the machine and how well it's calibrated, how sharp the blade is, but something to keep in mind that you can just go, they'll chop it right off, and they'll actually drill your holes for you too. Probably under $10 for the whole thing. I used to be an assistant manager at a FedEx office store, so I did it all the time, but I don't know what their pricing is like right now. I can't remember, but I want to say it's like $1.50 to cut it, and then like 10 cents a page for the drilling, something like that. So it's not too bad. But like I said, it only took me an hour, and that was with the rinky-dink slide trimmer and, whoops, hole punches, confetti everywhere, with a single hole punch, because I don't yet have the 6-hole punch. So that, you know, with the limited equipment that I have, it still only took me an hour to do. So it's not that bad. If you do 3 or 4 pages at a time, you get nice clean cuts and clean hole punches, but it doesn't take you forever. So I've heard anywhere from an hour to 2 hours usually for finishing the whole planner. So it's not too bad. I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse. If you choose to do the washi option, I'm not sure how long that takes. I'm guessing it's probably going to take quite a bit longer, and keep in mind that that's going to add some bulk to your inner edge here, and it's not the end of the world. I kind of like it to be symmetrical all the way across, because I'm, I guess, a little picky about that. But if it doesn't matter to you, just know that this edge of your planner is going to be quite a bit thicker than this edge because of the washi thickness that you're adding to that. So just something to keep in mind when you're making your decision about how you're going to do it. So that is that. Again, I think if you're planning on going this route and putting your Erin Condren planner into a Filofax or Kikki, I would definitely recommend going with the horizontal version as opposed to the vertical, just because, like I said, you're losing less of a percentage of your writing real estate space, so to speak. So that is definitely something you want to think about when making your decision as to which one you're going to go with. But anyway, so I just wanted to show you guys what that looks like, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will post my referral link in the description if there's anybody out there who is new to Erin Condren. When you sign up with a new email with my referral link, you'll get $10 off, and I get a $10 referral credit, which I used on my blog to do giveaways and stuff. I've done a couple $100 gift card giveaways in the past, so I try to, you know, pass on some of that credit to my readers and followers and stuff. So that'll be in the description, and again, any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any questions about measurements and stuff, I'm not great at math, but I can give it a shot. Anyway, so yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy planning, guys!